welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods.
Recently we uploaded 3 massive videos showing you how to turbocharge your car. They went for hours and took weeks to make.
So in this video we're condensing all the information down to just a couple of minutes for anybody who's ever wanted to know how to turbocharge their car, and at the end of the video we're going to give you links to the full-length versions so you can get more detailed information. So this is how to turbocharge your car in just a couple of minutes. So the first thing you're going to need is a non-turbo car. This is an MX-5 that we bought for $1,500. You're also going to need a turbo. We took this one from our Forester XT. You'll also need a turbo manifold, intercooler, piping, water and oil lines, dump pipe, exhaust and an ECU to run it all. Turbos use exhaust gas to pressurise the intake, so everything before the intake manifold has to come off as it's going to be replaced. One of the trickiest bits is the exhaust manifold. You can either buy one pre-made or fabricate one, but be careful of the really cheap thin-walled manifolds as they can crack and in some cases even send dodgy welds down through your turbo, which causes major damage, and that sucks balls. We're fabricating this one out of thick-walled mild steel bends. The turbo is then rotated so the inlet and outlet is oriented correctly for our engine and for ease of pipe work, which is created out of stainless steel bends. We're reusing a front mount intercooler which has hot air in one side, cold air out the other and into our new intake piping. The spent exhaust gases need to be dumped out of the back of the turbo and into the exhaust, so we're also fabricating a dump pipe out of stainless steel. Turbos spin super fast and need oil to lubricate the bearings in between the compressor and exhaust housings. Tap a high pressure oil feed from your engine block or tee off an oil pressure sensor. This feeds into the top of the turbo core and then the low pressure oil is drained down into the sump where we've tapped a brass nipple, and nipples are awesome. A spinning turbo at supersonic unicorn speeds creates heat and water is used to cool the turbo down. It's tapped from either side of the water pump for its feed and return lines. Often using the heater hoses works well too. Extra air in the engine means extra fuel is needed. The stock injectors may run out of fuel flow, so bigger injectors are a good idea. We're going from 220cc to 450cc, meaning double the fuel flow, and a more modern injector is better for spray pattern and atomization. An upgraded or at very least brand new fuel pump supplies good fuel pressure and flow to meet the needs of the injectors. An aftermarket ECU allows you to map for positive pressure inside the engine. You can go full standalone as we've done, or use a piggyback ECU which retains some of the factory ECU functions. ECUs need sensors to read air and water temperature along with manifold pressure and RPM. Some of the factory sensors are utilised, but we need to install an intake air temperature sensor to accurately measure the temperature and therefore density of the air entering the engine after it's been pressurised by the turbo and cooled by the intercooler. The ECU is wired in and calibrated so it knows at exactly what point of the 4-stroke cycle the engine's in. It can then inject fuel and fire the spark at precisely the right time as dictated by the mapping. The car's strapped to a dyno, also known as a rolling road, which accurately measures power and allows the tuner to hold the car at certain load points and road speeds. We've installed an electronic boost control solenoid that the ECU will control to bring on full boost as quickly as possible and then hold our desired boost level according to the engine mapping. Low load tuning's done first, so the car drives well on the highway and around town, and then power runs are done to map out full throttle response. With 146.9 kilowatts achieved on the dyno at the wheels, a drive on the road confirms the map's complete. We've managed to double the factory output of our little MX-5, resulting in an awesome driving experience.
So that's a summary of how to turbocharge your car. Now there's other things to consider like clutch, brake upgrades, differential upgrades, and lots of other turbo supporting mods, but that varies depending what car you got. Luckily for you, there's books and internet's full of information that'll help you get your conversion right.
Now the other thing that is really important to consider is that you've got to see how turbo conversion affects your registration, insurance, engineering, but again that varies so much depending on your country and region, so you're going to have to do your own research. Now the most important thing that you have to do now, Martin, is smash that subscribe button. I don't even know where it is, but find it and smash it. Mighty Car Mods is full of DIY episodes, videos showing you how to customize and improve your own ride, plus road trips and other silliness. So make sure you hit the subscribe button.
That's right, and if you're hungry for even more mad info on how to make your car mad, check out the Mighty Car Mods magazine.
That's right, there's links in the description, but now, for those of you that want more information about turbocharging your car, make sure you click on one of these 3 videos. I stop now, Martin?
Nope.
Can I stop?
Not until everybody's watched all three, man.
I'm hungry, man.